how's it going? John Dorsey with FindingForTheWorld.com. I want to talk a little bit about President Trump today signing these new tariffs on imports, on certain imports. Because ever since back in the 80s, I think it was the 80s, late 80s, back when they were trying to get NAFTA and stuff like that passed, there has been these unfair trade deals being passed to where hardly any or very little or very low tariffs were put on imports, but very high tariffs or taxes were put on exports. Because if you grew up when I was growing up back in the 70s and 80s, goods were cheaper, because the dollar was worth more, but most of the stuff you bought was made in the USA, and you can get it for a reasonable price. Now, most of the goods you buy are made in Mexico, China, Malaysia, anywhere else but the USA. And then you're still paying a premium. So what I feel is that what I'm saying is it's about time that we had someone to come along, whether you agree with his other policies or not, Trump that is. It's about time we had the president that came along and actually cared enough about Americans and their jobs and the economy and getting things back to where we are thriving instead of surviving, that he enacted these trade deals to start enacted these trade tariffs to put more balance in trade. And this will bring more countries back to the negotiating table, because like he said in his press conference, when he's talking to world leaders in Japan and other countries, they got a little giggle, a little grin, like, I'm surprised we were able to get away with this for this long, to where we can't get our goods, we can't get our exports into their country unless we pay this high tariff, but all that stuff is shipped in for free or very little extra cost. Like, I was in the military, or if you've ever been overseas, you know that it's cheaper to go to Germany to get a BMW or Mercedes compared to getting it in the US. I mean, you're almost paying almost double you pay for the same car in the United States. BMW here is almost double than what it costs in Germany. And a lot of that is because of tariffs and shipping charges, but a lot of it is because of the tariffs alone. And there's a reason why you don't see a lot of Fords and Chevys and Chryslers in other countries, is because those countries say, well, we already have good cars, why we want to import yours and pay a premium for it? Why we want to pay more for something that isn't as good as what we already have? So I think this will definitely bring more people, more countries to the table, to where we can get more balance, more fair treatment, more fair trade. This will start bringing more jobs back. This will start getting the economy going. And you figure it's taken at least 30 years for things to get this bad, to where you can barely find anything that's made in the USA. Why should we, just think back to this, the industrial, our economy was thriving. Other countries were jealous of the US because we had Detroit You had all these steel mills. You had plenty. The United States is the most self-sufficient nation in the world. We don't need to import anything. We have everything we need here. But we had these politicians that got into office who, for whatever reason, more likely it was money, decided to basically sell the country off. If you're old enough to remember when Ross Perot was running back in, I think it was in the 1980s, against the father Bush, Ross Perot, a businessman, when he's running for president, said Ross Perot running back, it was the late 80s or 90s. When Ross Perot was running, he said that these NAFTA trade deals, or these trade deals, it will suck all the jobs out of the country. Or we'll say a big sucking, you'll hear a big sucking sound of all the jobs leaving the country. And that's exactly what happened. They passed all this NAFTA, the World Trade, WTO, and all that stuff got involved in our business. And it's funny how it takes a businessman to know how to run, what it exactly means to have fair trade, how to balance a budget, how to do things the right way. Most of your politicians are former lawyers, which their whole premise is slick talking to take money from somebody else to give it to themselves or give it to somebody else. But a businessman, his whole job is, or his whole goal is to provide value, and in return, you get more value. Are there shady businessmen? Sure. But I saw a comment on Facebook earlier where a lot of people don't even understand what a tariff is. And you see that by some people's comments where they say, oh, now the U.S. won't be able to compete, or they'll say, oh, now, like, let's say Harley Davidson, for example. Harley was a big supporter of Trump. And they say, oh, now Harley's going to have to compete with these rice beaters, or whatever they call it. I'm assuming they talk about these Japanese motorcycles, or these foreign motorcycles. I'm like, well, they always had to compete. But there's a reason why you don't see a lot of Harleys overseas, because they don't want to import. Harleys are already expensive, and then you want to import them at a, let's say 25% tariff is put on that export. Harley going into, let's say, China. They got to pay a 25% tariff or tax on it. So it was obvious that person doesn't even know or understand what a tariff even is. Especially when the tariffs were not in our favor. The tariff was in other countries' favor. But now things are going to get more toward us. In theory, things are going to get more balanced. China is upset about the whole thing and claims this is war. We want to fight you until the bitter end. And China talks a lot of trash, but I just want to talk about that for a little bit. If I'd like to hear your opinion. If you got some value out of this video, like it, share it, and that's it for this. I'll talk to you soon.